Yuuto Suoh is the patriarch leader of the wolf clan as he employs the phalanx tactic to turn the tables on the horn clan. With archers targeting him, his sister, Felicia, uses her whip ability to whip them away. Victory is sealed when his daughter, Sigrun, captures the patriarch of the horn clan. They are surprised to see Linnea, a young girl, as the horn clan's patriarch. He offers her to be one of his children, but of course she refuses. His last salvation is to be his sister, which does not bind her to servitude. Refuse and he will have no choice but to burn down her village and kill her people. Linnea agrees to be his sister. After returning triumphant to his city, this part is where it gets mind-boggling. At the top of the temple, Yuuto rushes to call his childhood friend, Mitsuki Shimoya. I don't know what time era or world they are in, but the reception is damn good. It seems she knows about his position and hopes he will find his way home soon. Yuuto narrates he is somewhere on Earth but in a different timeline. This is probably the tools used seemingly from the Bronze Age, as well as the stars in the sky that resembles the Northern Hemisphere. Morning comes, a little potential fanservice with Felicia and Sigrun hinting about washing a man's pipes so as not to let him go astray to evil women. Luckily for him, but too bad for us, he is more hungry for food than of the horny kind. He goes to see Ingrid to increase output of weapons since the Horn clan will be part of the Wolf clan. Later, Yuuto and Linnea perform the Chalice of Allegiance ritual to signify their bond. The oath of the chalice is more important and creates stronger ties than those of blood. Yuuto's goal is to rid all opposition to Wolf clan so he can have a peace of mind while finding a way home. Later, Linnea begs to spare her people and offers her body, but of course Yuuto isn't a dick and promises not to harm them. However, horrible news just in. Because of the Horn clan's recent defeat, the neighboring Hoof clan invaded their nation. Their force numbers around 10,000. Some council members don't think they should send reinforcements and should just make slaves out of those Horn clan people. As expected, Yuuto gets mad and shuts them up, because doing so would violate the oath they made and ruin their reputation. It's decided. They're going to war and save the Horn clan. Sigrun leads her unit to do lightning attacks on the Horn clan's camp before retreating. Thanks to this tactic that goes on for a few days, the Horn clan barely has any good rest. So it is time for Yuuto and his main army to attack. As expected, the Horn clan's army is exhausted, although they still press on with their numbers. The Horn clan's patriarch, Ungbi, notices a flaw in the Wolf clan's phalanx strategy. The flank is left unguarded, so he uses his chance to attack it. Wow, Wolf clan already starting to lose morale when Ungbi starts barging in like a raging bull. Apparently this is all part of Yuuto's plan. The enemy will notice the weakness and will take action. This is to draw out Ungbi and isolate him so that he could face off with Sigrun. When both warriors clash, it seems Sigrun has the upper hand. Ungbi is cut down but has no regrets over losing to the stronger warrior. With that, it is victory for the Wolf clan. Now we can rest with some fanservice as the ladies get into the bath with Yuuto. But what's this? Linnea boldly asking Yuuto to marry him. Hold on, the real battle starts now. Felicia tells her the proper procedure of doing things first. Washing a man's back. Now they're fighting over to wash his back. Later they talk to her and want her to spill the truth, because Linnea wanting Yuuto to become the Horn clan's patriarch is too good of a deal. It seems in this world, the patriarch is chosen via merit, as hereditary ones will lead to ruin. Yup, Linnea is a hereditary patriarch. Her father loved her so much that he installed her as his heir. She too loved her father and people and wanted to be a patriarch to protect them. But seeing she is weak, she wants Yuuto, who is the right man, to lead the Horn clan. Of course they can't decide this and will have to consult the council. Later, as Felicia talks alone to Yuuto, she imagines him taking over the Horn clan, in which he will be one step closer to becoming ruler of Ulfheim. She supports his marriage to Linnea because she knows he is trying to return to his world. In this marriage, he'll have to go to wars and hence stay around. Yuuto appreciates Felicia for being by his side for 2 years and considers her his best friend. Just friends. Nevertheless, Felicia is happy and changes her mind to stop this wedding. What's this? Lesbian fanservice with sisters Christina and Albertina. Oh yeah, for whatever reasons dumb Albertina decided to agree and absorb sneaky Christina's cold. Panther, the patriarch of the Lightning clan, pays a visit to Yuuto. He earns Yuuto's ire when he harasses and mocks everyone who gets in his way, since his entrance was deemed rude enough. Until Yuuto had to put on that angry face that hints "don't mess with my harem, you dumb FCK." Panther just says hi to him and leaves. Later, Yuuto gets lectured by Mitsuki for not calling for 3 weeks. Yeah, no excuse. So freaking great reception and he can't be bothered to contact her. No wonder Mitsuki is crying. So glad Big Brother is still alive. Yuuto and Felicia walk through town and see its somewhat booming economy. Felicia credits Yuuto for inventing paper, although he claims he cheated. But in this age, there is also the slave trade. Hence kind Yuuto buys a mother and her young daughter for their freedom. Christina and Albertina saw this, so they request an audience with Yuuto, claiming they are envoys from the Claw clan. Suddenly they ask him to marry them. Is Yuuto's harem growing at a lightning pace? With Yuuto rejecting them, we see the sisters arguing over this, but this affirms Christina as the sneaky and smart one while Albertina the dumb and gullible one. They add that they are daughters of the Claw clan's patriarch and were sent by their father to be his wives. Yuuto can't simply dismiss them, as it seems Christina has very good intelligence and knows a lot of secret stuff Yuuto did. Or maybe she has good hearing. Christina then reveals all this was just to test Yuuto, and she is not disappointed. They want him to be their father under the oath, but Yuuto wants them to bring him something to prove themselves. Sorry Linnea, we interrupt your dreams of making out with Yuuto because the gang needs to prepare to head to Gimel. With the sisters' wind powers, Yuuto's carriage is able to get there in not time. Then the real battle over Yuuto's bride begins. But thankfully they have to attend to the people of Gimel, so the fight is put on hold for now. That night, Linnea attempts to make her horny dream come true by stripping naked and trying to make out with Yuuto. Good thing or not, Mitsuki's face flashed before his eyes, so he rejects her that he can't even marry her. He claims he has someone else he loves. He also goes on to explain he is from a different world, perhaps thousands of years in the future, as well as himself as being a failure many times over. So his lesson to her is that not to give up just because of a single failure, because steels is tempered 100 times. Thanks to that, Linnea won't give up and bugs him for marriage. What a way to backfire. Sorry to interrupt this again, but the others bring news that the Lightning Clan is preparing to wage a war. So as they discuss their next move, Christina suggests sending the sisters to spy on the Lightning Clan and obtain some information. Christina demonstrates by having Albertina using her super fast stealth moves. She is very fit for an assassination job. They will accomplish this mission and in exchange earn their right to the oath. Yuuto learns from his mistake and calls Mitsuki the battle he is going to go into. Then he returns to discuss tactics against the Lightning Clan. Unfortunately, even for Sigrun, she feels she is not powerful enough to stand up against Steinther. His subjects tell of stories how Steinther manages to defeat large numbers of armies all by himself even before becoming a patriarch. However, Yuuto brushes this off as a fool's bravery since he relies only on brute force. Hence he believes the Wolf Clan cannot lose to someone like that. The war begins as the Wolf Clan gets off to a good advantage as they use modern-era crossbow and the phalanx strategy. Yuuto finds it strange that fighting them is somewhat easier than the Hoof Clan, since the Lightning Clan army feels a lot less organized. When Sigrun and her unit goes in to defend the phalanx's flank, that is when Steinther barges in to fight her. Not even Sigrun could stand up to his mighty hammer, so she makes a wise decision to retreat. Steinther then clashes with another of Yuuto's sons, Scarfir, but the latter prefers not to fight him now and distracts the Lightning Clan army to collect precious metal laying on the battlefield. Some armies they don't even listen to their high commander. Steinther is advised to rest and treat his wounds. But after that, he finds that one of his great strategists got killed. He gets mad and returns to battle. Again he faces off with Scarfir, but once more he parries his attacks enough to escape across the river. Steinther orders his men to chase the retreating Wolf Clan across the river. Steinther might be able to deflect arrows and cross it by himself, but it's not so lucky for his army. Steinther fights against a few best warriors of Wolf Clan, and even though their combined might cannot defeat him, all this is just part of Yuuto's strategy to stall him. Because the time is right now for the river to flood and wash away the Lightning Clan. Previously, Yuuto had Linnea and the Gimel townsfolk build a dam up north of the river. With the river's overflowing power, it eventually bursts the dam. Man, I must say it is a brilliant strategy, but the problem was the timing was just too perfect. Too convenient. But of course Steinther survives this and just has some broken bones. Back at the temple, Yuuto calls Mitsuki, but she doesn't want to hear his amazing heroic exploits. When is he coming home? Not sure. Don't know how. But once the Wolf Clan becomes more powerful, he will be able to do more research in more places. So hang in there. It's not like she has to wait thousands of years, right? Oh wait. Yuuto teaches Ingrid how to make glasses. The close proximity is having her imagine all sorts of unholy things. To appreciate Yuuto's talents and success, Georgian suggests having him relaxed at a hot spring. It will also be a good opportunity for the ladies to get closer to him, if you know what I mean. And I have this feeling that Yuuto isn't going to get his much needed rest as the girls come bug him in the hot spring as well as washing his body. Damn, Sigrun licking his feet. Nosebleed incoming. Even after they get lectured, the girls give excuse they are doing this because he will be gone one day and want to repay him. He got careless to give them permission to do whatever they want because now they're going to give him a massage. Damn, this is going to look like gang rape. Back home, Ingrid forges a replacement sword for Sigrun that she lost during her battle with Steinther. However, she feels unsatisfied because it was not done by Yuuto. But lucky for her, Yuuto found and bought it back from a merchant who happened to stumble upon it. I wonder if it is too early to consider Valkyria to be part of Yuuto's harem. We see her trying to serve him normally but is clumsy. But of course Yuuto is such a kind guy and won't harm her for such harmless mistakes. When he notices Valkyria could read, this gives him an idea to educate all youngsters of the wolf clan. For free, they will pay for the buildings and whatever materials needed for education. They have enough wealth from the sale of glasses. This is a good investment for the wolf clan's future by developing their own talented people. Although this idea is great, Felicia is worried because this is a sign that he is planning for what will happen when he is gone. Flashback shows the former patriarch of the Wolf clan blamed his aging for their failures, and with the recent hard-fought victory over the Claw clan, he decides to pass on the patriarchy to Yuuto. Of course he protests as he wants to go home, but his brother, Lopter, thinks it is all an act and is jealous of Yuuto stealing his dream. He tried to kill him but father protected Yuuto. Lopter fled in his fear. Father's last dying words were if Yuuto goes home, he wants him to make Lopter his successor. Sighs. If only those kids let the old man finish his words. Now, Yuuto receives word that the Panther clan has conquered the Hoof clan. It is rumored they used modern technology and Yuuto fears they have Lopter on their side since his rune allows copying techniques. Oh, Felicia now tells him she received a letter 2 weeks ago from Lopter that he is the Panther clan's patriarch and wants her to come join him. Now you only say this. Yuuto tries to act like he doesn't know this and has Felicia write a fake letter to him. Too bad he can tell it is fake and invades the next area. No choice, Yuuto takes his army to go fight back. They are able to hold their ground against the advance unit, but the real battle comes when Lopter joins in with his main army. Because both ex-brothers know each other, they try to outdo the other by thinking what they'll do. Like Lopter surrounding Yuuto's camp with his numbers. But Yuuto reveals a secret weapon. Actually, an iron wall. They can shoot arrows from behind without worries. With the Panther clan's casualties rising, Lopter won't give up and wants his aide, Sijin, to use her power. It involves having Yuuto experience some weird hypnotizing thingy and their soldiers turn into fearless zombies as they ram through the iron walls. With Lopter facing off Yuuto, Felicia comes to his defense. Lopter even tries to kill her but Yuuto protects her. Finally, when Sigrun arrives on a camel, Lopter's horse starts acting up. Even the enemy horses start running away. No choice, Lopter retreats. It seems horses can't stand the smell of camels. This explains why Sigrun is late, but she's the only camel I see around. It's not like she brought an entire fleet of them. Is the camel that smelly? If so, why can humans stand it? Damn, plot convenience for our wolf clan to rest. It's so cold, but thank goodness for the invention of Kotatsu. Yuuto notices something strange about Valkyria. So when he peeks at her at school, he realizes she is being ignored. A form of bullying. But don't worry, Christina has a plan. With her sister, they infiltrate as students. Of course, Christina doesn't hesitate to make fun of dumb Albertina in front of everyone. Christina soon reports there is a queen in class and she is making everyone ignore Valkyria. Apparently this was Yuuto's fault. When she brought her to school, he showed too much affection for her and thus making the queen jealous. Christina's plan is to become the new queen and change Valkyria's status. Soon we see the power shift as Christina is more popular and the queen is now ignored. When all is invited to the hot spring, Valkyria invites her as well. Friendship saved. Yuuto calls Mitsuki and they hint us the period Yuuto is in is before Jesus' birth because no Christmas and hence no presents. So is Yuuto going to invent Christmas? No way. Anyway, Ingrid is mad at Yuuto. Apparently he is supposed to spend the day with her in the smithy but he forgot. Now you remember. First he has to shrug off the other girls who are interested to join in. Ingrid soon learns Yuuto wants her to teach him how to make items so he can give them as presents to other women. Grrr. No wonder she is so mad. She tries to seduce him in the meantime but to no avail. In the end, when she thinks she has got his attention, Yuuto lectures her about how to be a proper woman instead of, trying to get her boobs this close to his face or something. That's it. Patriarch or not, she hits him. OMG. Next morning, she ignores him but apparently he crafted a necklace for her as apology. More flattering words that she is pretty, etc. Well, all is forgiven. He is sure she can attract more men but there is only one guy she is ever interested in. Guess who? Meanwhile, Lopter agrees to enter an oath with the Lightning clan. He is fine, they are brothers on equal footing as he has had it with younger brothers. With the Lightning clan and Panther clan joining forces, they plan to get rid of Yuuto and his wolf clan. Time to take a detour to the real world. Boom, we're starting off with Mitsuki's boobs being fondled by Ruri. It seems she also knows about Yuuto being sent back to the past and teases Mitsuki about dating him. Yeah, she'll do that when he returns. Whenever that is. Rory invites her to spend New Year's Day at her place. That's because she introduces her to her cousin, Seiyaku, who is interested to hear about this story. From what Mitsuki says, a lot doesn't follow the Norse mythology while some are curiously almost similar. In the end, she believes Yuuto is the Surtur in the Ragnarok legend and Mitsuki's surname is similar to Sinmara, Surtur's wife. I don't know, but why is Mitsuki experiencing panic attacks each time Seiya explains? And the worst panic attack comes when she realizes at the end of the mythology they are all killed. Well, let's hope they don't follow the mythology 100%. Back to Yuuto, he sounds like a stalker as he can't get through Mitsuki. He talks to Scarfir and feels guilty about the recent loss to Panther clan. But without his guidance, he believes the Wolf clan would have even more casualties. Yuuto hopes he can look out for Sigrun because he views her as the only one who can take down Lopter. Later Yuuto manages to get through to Mitsuki as she tells him about the Norse mythology she was told, albeit not much. Looks like more research needs to be done, so stay tuned. Yuuto turns into a jealous guy learning she went to a friend's house. Thank goodness she is a girl, right? Even more so he wants to know if Rory's cousin is a boy. Heck, Mitsuki can't even tell him the most important thing because he is so pushy of wanting to know if Seiya is boy or girl. Like, he deserved to be called Baka. Baka, Baka, Baka. Yuuto leaves and stumbles into a commotion in some bar. To his shock, the female before him looks like Mitsuki. She is actually Leafa, a princess of Jarl clan. Looks like she is going to stay at Yuuto's place, and all his harem mistakes her as Mitsuki. Wow, they really know how his true love looks like. Because not everyone can enter the workshop, Leafa makes a fuss. Luckily, Yuuto didn't give in to her feminine wiles. She learns Yuuto came to this world after looking into a holy mirror made out of elven copper and it activated when Felicia was doing a ritual at the same time. Leafa gives hope that there is such an elven copper mirror in this world too, but will only tell after lunch. Yuuto treats her to hamburgers. The talk distracts about Leafa being a magic user. Because Yuuto is skeptical, she demonstrates by paralyzing him. As two runes appear on Leafa, Felicia recognizes the only other person who can do this, the Divine Emperor Sigurdrifa. So this is Leafa's true identity. Unfortunately, this magic about being internal and external, Leafa is good at the former but sucks at the former and needs somebody else to break the spell on him. The only one who can break any spell is Sijin, or he can wait a week until the spell wears off. Later Yuuto calls Mitsuki and tells her about Leafa as well as the new hope of being able to come back. A spell named Fimbulvetter just needs to be cast on him. The problem is, Sijin can do it. Mitsuki's suggestion, find somebody else. You mean Yuuto did not think about this and sounds so happy to hear this suggestion? Or did Mitsuki not hear him say she is the only person who can do so? We take a detour with Yuuto celebrating New Year with his harem. As usual, they all got drunk and start stripping for him. Time to go to war as news of Steinthur leading his lightning clan to attack them again. So to thank Yuuto's hospitality, Leafa kisses him. It's a good luck kiss. No complaints, right? Back to the battle, Steinthur stuns everyone when he uses his iron umbrella to deflect the arrows. He throws it back at their barrier to break an opening for his army to break through. Wolf clan is weakening, so Yuuto sets in motion an encircling tactic. Steinthur knows what he is doing and plans a retreat. However, going back means more will die and the only way through is forward. Steinthur stays back to fight Sigrun, who is joined by Scarfir. Steinthur is so powerful that he almost kills Sigrun. Scarfir protects her but gets flung off the cliff. Yuuto thought it is Wolf Clan's victory, but I guess he didn't see this one coming because Lopter and his Panther clan are coming into attack with their 10,000 strong army. With the Panther clan and Lightning clan joining forces, the only option left for Yuuto is to retreat. However, he won't because he won't abandon his family. The reason is if they run, they will eventually be swarmed and the entire Wolf clan will be enslaved. Also, his smartphone isn't giving him any further cheats. Yuuto's idea is to head down to the front lines and boost his troops' morale. This is the reason why Lightning Clan is always high on morale, because Steinthur is always down on the ground with them. And with that appearance, the soldiers have their morale boost so high that they fight back. Yeah, they should carry a picture of Yuuto with them. Well, if pictures are invented then. The revitalized Wolf Clan now push back their enemies. We switch the Steinthur's fight with Sigrun. He is bored with her since she is weak. He wants to go fight Yuuto, but Sigrun manages to convince him he hasn't seen all she has to offer yet. And so this is her incredulous winning move. Steinthur strikes her sword away, but it spins so far and long in the air that he forgot it will land. Her sword then lands. She picks it up and slices his gut. Because of how satisfied he is, he calls for his troops to retreat. More good news is Scarfir is found still alive at the bottom of the cliff. Don't worry, it must have been a very short cliff. Lopter again isn't pleased he is inferior to Yuuto. So desperate he is going to fight him now. Well, you want something done, better do it yourself. With Sijin using her spell to let all soldiers ignore Lopter and pave a way through, Lopter shows us his evil side so that we could hate him as he attacks Felicia who protects Yuuto. And when the men begin to fight, Yuuto just rams into him and Lopter passes out. This guy is freaking weak. But it's not over yet. Sijin's spell now overwhelms Yuuto. Oh no, he is disappearing. Yuuto's thoughts, here, Felicia. Take my smartphone. Bye. Banished. Hope she knows how to use it. Mitsuki returns home and sees a bright flash from her room. Why, it's Yuuto. Natural for both of them to be suspicious at first. But they're the real deal. Yuuto quickly asks to borrow her smartphone to call his. No reception. But of course. Meanwhile, Lopter isn't pleased Yuuto is gone because he wanted to kill him. I thought you want him gone and this is as good as being dead. Yuuto's disappearance becomes a rife rumor as many are not sure if he died or really just disappeared. Word of it reaches Linnea late and she cannot believe her ears. I guess that's what happened when you don't have a smartphone for the latest news. Meanwhile, Yuuto and Mitsuki are out dating. Gotta catch up all those missing years. And then a call from Yuuto's phone. Not sure if Ingrid turned into a tech wizard, but she managed to get the line through. Yuuto speaks to Felicia as she updates him they lost several places and men. Yuuto is glad they're still alive, especially Sigrun who led the battlefront. She tells him about the possibility of returning but also cautions him. Whatever decisions he makes, they will respect it. Once they hang up, tough act is over, back to crying. He better make the right choice, huh? Mitsuki knows what he wants, so she sets up just like the events of that fateful day for him to return. She is okay for him to return, because she wants to come along too. So Yuuto is okay going back alone but not with her. Oh, now he brings up her friends and family. What about himself? He tries to make it sound scary she cannot come back or see them again, but you know what? This is where the cheesy power of love comes in. Even though the past has no electricity or internet, as long as she has him, she will be alright. Why does this feel like a long-winded attempt for her to confess to him? So his reply, if she is coming with him, he wants to make her his wife. You mean Mitsuki didn't think this far and looking the shock? Why do I feel this long-winded drama is for this next scene? With her agreeing, they solemnize their love with a kiss under the moon. Come to think of it, I suppose there are no martial restrictions back there. And so Yuuto returns as the glorious patriarch of Wolf Clan. Mitsuki is here too. Leafa sees her clone for the first time. Everybody is so glad to have him back. This is the end of the video. So please watching all of my anime recap series. Thanks for watching.